started playing with Quake, Unreal for level design, and then did some scripting and modding for Total Annihilation. And yeah, it doesn't really take anything except for the fact that you want to do it. So you've got some more questions? Somewhere?
No, pass one.
Oh, we've got a roving mic.
Yeah, hang on one sec.
Get him to bring it up.
How much experience will you get out of this game?
Okay, so there's 15 levels, and it's actually impossible to play through it all at once. The idea is you play through a couple of levels and you die, but the score that you're gathering can be spent on upgrades which are permanent to your save file. The quickest run through I think I've had of it is maybe about, I don't know, an hour and a half, but generally be longer. Then there's a couple of all extra levels, and it's also quite moddable. All the levels are just XML files. If you email me about it, I can tell you exactly how to edit it. And there is a tool, but it needs to be brushed up a bit more. If I get some more sales, then I might release that tool. There's a bit of a bribe.
How long did it take you to get a firm grasp on XNA?
So in my Victoria Uni course, we actually covered programming in C#, which is what XNA uses. We did 2 semesters, I think it was, of programming in C#. Before I started actually working in XNA, I had a fairly firm grasp of the language. But actual XNA is fairly easy if limited in some areas. So to actually get this game working how it is, I need to write a bit of a framework just to render stuff on the screen at the right place in different resolutions, and the award system. So it didn't take me that long, but then I had prior experience of knowing a couple of other programming languages and then also working with C#. Having said that, C# is really easy to work with. I'd say if you're teaching yourself, it could be one of the easiest languages to learn.
Which language would you recommend to start with?
As I said, I found C# to be really easy because the IDE that you work in offers so much help, but it can make you a bit of a lazy programmer. Just the best one that I would say to learn in is if you've got someone around you that already knows how to program and is willing to teach you the basics of programming in it, then whatever language they use. So here at Monash, we're using, in the first 2 semesters of programming, we're using Java. Again, a pretty easy language to learn. Same kind of deal as C#. So just whatever it's best to have some help learning the basics, I think, and just whatever language you can get the help in.
Dude, if you're going to ask a question, you might want to stop talking on your phone. Yeah.
How do you get started in modding and creating games?
So one of my teachers in high school actually suggested to my mum to buy me a computer. That was just a pretense so that he could have someone else to play Total Annihilation against over the internet. Once I found out that the first expansion pack for TA came with a map editor, I thought, wow, that's pretty interesting. I loaded it up and started playing around with it, started reading the forums, and that's basically how I got started. After that, I started playing a lot of Quake as well, and found out about Worldcraft, which is a level editor for that. So I started making 3D environments for Quake, and then Quake 2, and then about the same time, Worldcraft was picked up as the editor for Half-Life. So where's Mark? If you can pass it off to just one of these guys. Who wants to have a go at the game? I don't know where the controller is right now. So okay, we've got someone playing it now. I'll try and get it set up on a screen over there maybe, and you can play it for the party today. So how are we going for time? Nobody's giving me, okay. Well, a couple more questions and then we'll move on to sort of the design challenge after this guy dies. So any more questions? Yep, we've got guys down here.
Stand up when you ask your question, come on.
Yep.
Don't be lazy.
Then we can get you on the camera.
What was your inspiration for this particular game?
So, okay, the inspiration for the game, if we can switch off and back to the laptop, I'll just answer this question, we'll move on to the design challenge. The inspiration for the game was, I liked the idea of shoot-em-ups as a genre, but all the games that I could get, apart from really old ones, were these bullet hell type ones, where you needed really quick reflexes, and I just didn't think they were that fun to play, but I like the idea of just having ships and just shooting the hell out of stuff. And so because I couldn't find a game of that type that I wanted to play, I decided to make one. Came up with the idea of having a whole heap of essentially little ships that follow a cursor that makes it maybe a little bit hard to move around, but they can also soak up damage from the bullets and not needing a lot of precise movement anyway. So yeah, it's because there wasn't a game out there that I wanted to play, so I made a game that I wanted to play, pretty much. Okay, so now we'll move on to the design challenge stuff that I sort of thought would be fun. So the first one, I need 3 people to come up. So we've got you in the yellow trim. Yep, that's you. You in the red shirt. And you in the white checker. Yep. Just sit at the table. I got this game. Wrong button. Called Zombie Dice. So this is a game called Zombie Dice. It's made by Steve Jackson Games. It's really cool. So there's 13 dice in here, and you've got these 3 types of dice. There's green, red, and yellow. And the idea is you guys are zombies. So go rah. I think this guy on the end did the best one, so he'll actually start. The idea of the game is you get 3 dice out of the container and roll them. If you get a brain, you keep it on your side. If you get a shotgun, you keep it on the other side. And if you get feet, then you pick those up and roll it again with 3 others if you want. The idea is to get up, in this case, 7 different brains, or 7 brains in total. And that means you win the game. So I'll just quickly go through it with these guys if I can get a roving mic. They grab 3 dice out of there. And actually, if we can get a camera on this as well. Yep, now roll the dice. Okay, so he's got 1 brain, 1 shotgun, and 1 feet. Now, if he wants to, he can bank that brain, and then he gets 1 point. Or he can pick up 2 more dice and roll with the feet, the 3 dice, and try and get more brains. But if it's 3 shotguns, then he dies, and it's his end of the turn. He doesn't get any brains in the bank. The idea is to get 7 brains to win. So keep it. So you're at 1. Remember that? And now we'll move on to you. Okay. Now this design challenge is actually to I want you guys to think of what other themes could you use this for, and what icons would you use on the dice. So he's got 2 brains and a shotgun. So if this kid wants, he can pick up another 3 dice out of the container and roll and try and get more brains, but if he gets 2 more shotguns, then he dies and it's the end of his turn. So he's grabbing 3 more. The chance he's going to get 3 shotguns are actually usually pretty high. So he's got another brain, a pair of feet, and another shotgun. So he has 2 shotguns. And he's going to bank them, yeah? Okay, so now he's on 3. Put him back in, give him to the next person. So yeah, I want you guys to think of what other themes you could actually put onto this facade and how it would actually change the rules as well. And we'll get, after we finish this game, we'll get another roving mic to go around and give some of your ideas. So she's got a feet, a brain, and a shotgun. Now if you want, it's a good idea to actually re-roll the green ones because they have 3 brains on them. They're like really slow victims like I would be. Like, I can't run away fast. Okay, so you're on 1 now. And it goes back to him. Keep cycling through. The usual game goes to like 13, but we're just going to run to 7 because it's quick. Brain, shotgun, and feet. So what you're going to do, he's going to roll again. I hear a lot of murmuring. I hope that's talking about this. 3 brains.